and a very warm welcome to you this evening from the Linfield University Evenstad Center for Wine Education. We're so excited that you've joined us for the 2020 virtual Stay at Homecoming event. Cheers to Wildcats wherever you're at in the world. My name is Chelsea and I'm a Linfield graduate of 2012. I'm joined tonight by Dr. Greg Jones, the Evenstad Center Director and Wine Studies Department Chair, along with Associate Professor and fellow Linfield alum Tony Katrinos. Dr. Jones is going to be giving us a program update, and Tony is going to be giving us some tasting tips and tricks for wine tasting at home. If you don't have a glass already nearby, I suggest pouring yourself a splash of your favorite wine. You're going to learn something fun and new from Tony this evening. At the end of tonight's presentation, grab your phone and enter a text to win raffle for an upcoming wine education course. Linfield is now a WSET approved program provider. That's the Wine and Spirits Education Trust. So we're so excited to offer this opportunity to our Linfield alumni. So stay tuned. At the end of the event, you'll have 10 minutes to text to win your name and the date of your graduation to the number, and we cannot wait to offer this to one of our alumni. So let's hear first from Dr. Greg Jones.
Hello, my name is Greg Jones. I'm the director of the Evenstad Center for Wine Education here at Linfield University. I want to welcome you to the 2020 virtual homecoming. I know we seem to be doing everything virtual nowadays. We hope you have a great experience with this. We thought we would share with you numerous aspects of what we're doing here in the Evenstad Center for Wine Education. As all of you probably know, Oregon's wine industry has grown tremendously over the past 40, 50 years. The industry is starting to gain more and more recognition, becoming widely known for producing numerous different style of wines, but very well known for Pinot Noir and Chardonnay and some other cool climate varieties in this region. The industry's growth has catapulted it today to being very recognized throughout the world. While we're still a very small amount of the country's production, we currently have nearly 1,300 vineyards in the state of Oregon and over 900 wineries. We have somewhere around 38,000 or so acres planted. And by our last census numbers, we produced 100,000 tons of fruit. And we have an overall economic impact in the industry of around $5 billion, including tourism and other related activities. You know where Linfield University is. We are located in McMinnville in Yamhill County. Yamhill County has the highest number of vineyards and producers in the state of Oregon. So naturally, sitting where we are here at Linfield University, the question came up, why shouldn't Linfield be doing something in the wine education space? So that's where we are today. How did we get here? Well, wine studies as an academic area started off as a minor. It was a group of interested faculty from multiple different disciplines who all came together and decided that this was the right time and the right place to do this. And it was also supported by former President Tom Helly, who's now retired. But through their work, they put together a minor, a lecture series, and a center that started to engage with the industry, to engage with people in the area in terms of support for education around wine. I came here in August of 2017, and it was through the Evenstads, the Domaine Serene family, that they endowed our Center for Wine Education and my position. So we are now known as the Evenstad Center for Wine Education. And through that whole process, it enabled me to help come here and craft a complete major and minor. So in the past couple of years, we have put together this program. It is a true liberal arts multidisciplinary program covering multiple areas within the campus. The ideal for the program was to be very student-centered. allowing students to make choices across multiple different areas in which they possibly wanted to study. We have a core discipline where we a set of courses that we look to provide a broad overview of kind of where and how grapes are grown worldwide, where and how wine is made worldwide, giving students the ability to have a good fundamental knowledge of the industry. We couple that with other areas of training to help students find what their niche might be within the wine industry. For example, many of our students are crossing over different degree areas, such as journalism and media studies, communication arts, biology, environmental studies, business, and so on. So our students are really, truly getting a true liberal arts multidisciplinary experience. We also have something that's relatively unique at Linfield. When we put together the curriculum, we wanted our students to be very engaged with other programs. And to do that, we require that each of our majors either have a double major in another program, a minor in another program, or they do a study abroad of at least one semester, if not two. And so that really allows them to kind of branch out and be a true, I think, liberal arts student here at Linfield. We currently have 12 majors and over 20 minors, and we've had our first graduating class this past year and been very excited with the students that have been with us and helped us through this initial development and have really engaged with us and made us proud as they've gone out and done internships and worked within the industry. Going on, we are doing Jan term travel study trips. We have one coming up in January 2022. January 2022. We're going to southern Italy. And within that framework, we are trying to teach the students a little bit about historical aspects of growing grapes in one of the oldest regions in Europe. We also are doing many things that are somewhat unique, and you're going to be hearing from a couple of my assistants coming up here in a little bit who talk about some of the different aspects of things we're doing. We have a wine and spirits education program here that we are now offering classes to the community. This is for anybody who's looking to gain more knowledge around wine, or somebody who might be looking to work within the industry or within food and beverage areas. They can come and get training that's internationally recognized. We are also starting to put together more summer classes. We've been doing a viticulture boot camp for the past 2 summers, where we do a very compressed 10-day period of study looking at vineyards and vineyard practices in the region. We're expanding that to do much more in the winemaking sector as well, so that you can potentially come to Linfield and do a summer course here. We're also partnering with many different wineries and agencies in the area. We still have a long-term partnership with the International Pinot Noir Celebration here on campus, and we continue to work with them. We also have the Oregon Wine History Archive here on campus now, which is one of the best collections of historical information about the state of Oregon's industry. And we love to have everybody participate and be able to see this. It's both online and here physically in the library. We're also very excited to be working on a new facility. We have a new science building that's been in the plans for quite a few years now. And within that framework, wine studies we'll end up having a space that we can call our own and do wine-related lab work in. We can do sensory evaluation, tasting wines and evaluating wines. And so we're really excited about that future. The building hasn't started yet, but it's getting close, and we're getting very, very excited because it'll give all of our students a much more together home for them to learn and experience wine-related courses that we're offering here at Linfield. So anyway, I thank you very much for joining me for this really brief overview of what we're doing with wine studies and at the Evenstad Center for Wine Education here at Linfield University. I hope you enjoy the rest of this virtual homecoming, and you'll be hearing from a couple of my colleagues who are going to be talking about other things that we're doing and give you a little bit of a hint on doing some tasting on your own. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful fall. Happy virtual homecoming.
I hope you enjoyed hearing from Director Dr. Greg Jones. Not only is he a fantastic, internationally known wine climatologist, but he has also facilitated many opportunities for our students and for our local wine community. He was awarded the 2019 Wine Industry Partner of the Year by the Oregon Wine Board. We are so thankful for Dr. Jones's leadership, not only in the Oregon wine industry here at Linfield University, but also the internationally known wine regions. So thank you to Dr. Jones. A way to get connected to local wineries and to also support wine studies at Linfield University is to join the Oak and Vine Society. The Oak and Vine Society was founded in 2016, and it is a wonderful wine benefits program. If you enjoy tasting but want to maybe explore wineries throughout the Willamette Valley in Washington and also in Southern Oregon, thanks Abasella. Abasella Winery just joined a few years ago, and Dr. Greg Jones's parents currently operate and own that winery down in the Roseburg area. Lots of wineries here in the Valley contribute to the Oak and Vine Scholarship Fund and provide wine benefits to all of our Linfield affiliated members. You can join the society if you are a donor of Linfield, if you're a parent of a Linfield student, if you're a trustee, if you're an alumni of Linfield, you can join, and if you're a Linfield student over 21. You get wonderful little membership cards in the mail. The membership is good for a year from the date that you join, and you also receive Linfield University Riedel Pinot Noir glasses. I happen to be drinking a glass of Chardonnay this evening, but we have our brand new Linfield University logos on these. Another perk that I love about the Oak and Vine Society is that your membership includes complimentary entry to 2 semi-annual tasting events. We bring our participating wineries together. We have food, live music, usually a raffle, and we gather with all of our wonderful Linfield affiliated Oak and Vine Society members who love wine and want to get together to celebrate this fantastic wine-growing region that we're fortunate to be in. So it's a really fun event. This year we are actually doing a virtual online tasting event. All of our Oak and Vine wineries are offering a special Oak and Vine shipping promo. And we're also meeting socially distanced in person on October 24th. That's a Saturday from 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock at Abbey Road Farm in Carlton. There's plenty of room to space out, and we are really excited as we are putting the final details on that event. So look for more details about that soon if you're an Oak and Vine member. Another way that you can connect with wine education at Linfield is through our Linfield Wine Lecture Series. This is sponsored by Tom and Marka Hughes of Keller, Texas. They came to the IPNC event, that's the International Pinot Noir event held at Linfield every year, and they approached former President Tom Helly with the question, how can we help support wine education efforts here in the Valley? And the Linfield Wine Lecture Series was started. This year's events are all virtual, and we are actually looking forward to hosting many global wine speakers in the coming months. So please stay tuned and visit www.linfield.edu/wine/Linfield Wine Lecture Series. You can find all about the information on our upcoming wine lecture series there on our website. Thank you, Tom and Marka Hughes. Linfield University is also affiliated with the Wine and Spirit Education Trust as an approved program provider. We partnered with them last year, and so far we have certified over 100 students through our APP. We're really excited to offer levels 1 through 3 award in wines, along with upcoming classes in sake and spirits. The WSET is based in London, and it is the world's largest certificate provider for those seeking a beverage or wine, spirit, or sake certification. These courses are offered online currently right now during the COVID-19 pandemic, but we hope to resume them in person at Linfield soon. We are so excited to offer this opportunity for those of you alumni who are interested in furthering your wine education, but maybe don't know where to start. You know what a red wine is, you know how Chardonnay is made, but maybe you want to dip your toe into global wine regions and really exploring your palate and your sensory evaluation of wine. The WSET offers some fantastic ways to grow your wine knowledge, and if you would like more information on the wine and spirit education programs offered through Linfield University and the Center for Wine Education, please don't hesitate to reach out and email wset@linfield.edu. Currently, we offer fully scholarship WSET Level 1 courses for all of our wine studies majors and minors. Another really big perk if you're pursuing an undergraduate wine education degree at Linfield. In addition to offering a world-class liberal arts, multidisciplinary approach to wine education, this year we've challenged our students and members of our community to consider how the wine industry can be a force for good and bring about positive social justice change. We have partnered with organizations this year such as the Assemblage Symposium, empowering women in the wine industry. Our students had the opportunity to work as interns with Assemblage or attend on a scholarship. We're so thankful for their commitment to empowering women, empowering families, and empowering voices that traditionally have been omitted in the wine industry and throughout the wine spectrum. We've also partnered with Fiesta in La Viña that supports immigrant families at Mesara Winery every year. We're so excited for the work that Fiesta in La Viña does. We've also teamed up with iVoy, offering WSET Award in Wine scholarships to all of their Hispanic students who are seeking to further their wine education offered through Chemeketa Community College. We are so excited to be a part of the Black-owned businesses BIPOC block party at the Mac Market just this last month. There are a lot of ways that we are seeking to be involved in really, truly changing the game here. One of the most prominent questions asked in 2020 throughout the wine industry was, how can wine be an agent of social change? After the murder of George Floyd and Black Lives Matter protests sprung up in every corner of our nation, the wine industry had a serious reckoning. We all began asking ourselves, asking our businesses to do better for racial justice work and to do better for Black lives, for brown lives, and for underrepresented minorities. We are thankful for companies that stepped up and realized an educational opportunity like the Evenstads and Domaine Serene. We are so thankful for the $500,000 diversity scholarship that they have committed to Linfield's Wine Studies program. We realize that much more work needs to be done here in Oregon and throughout the Pacific Northwest, and we are hoping that the question continues to be asked until justice is finally seen and that we finally have social change for good in the years to come.
Hey Wildcats, I'm Toni Katrinas, Linfield class of 1995, and as of January, a full-time member of our Wine Studies department. I'm here to take you through some tips for wine tasting. So let's get started. I wish we could be doing this together, so hopefully next year we'll be able to. But for now, at least we get to do this in the comfort of our own home. So starting off, you want to make sure you have a clean glass, and it's best if your wine glass is somewhat tulip-shaped like this, right? So something that's a little bit more narrow at the top. This is one of our wonderful Oak and Vine Society glasses. If you don't know what that is, make sure you listen to Chelsea. So I've poured in here a little bit of a Trisatum Riesling, so a local Willamette Valley Riesling. One's from a particular vineyard in the Dundee Hills. When you fill your glass for a tasting, remember this is tasting, not drinking, You only want to pour it about 1/3 of the way or to about the widest point of your glass. That's going to ensure that you have plenty of room for all of that wonderful aroma to accumulate. Our glass is narrower at the top in order to trap in those aromas. So the first thing we're going to do is kind of assess the color. The color tells us a little bit about how old our wine is, whether it's a deep, full red, whether it's a light or white. We just kind of take a look at it, see if there's any bubbles where it might tell us it's a sparkling wine. We're just looking for those things. So a lot of people used to kind of look at the legs. Truth is, they don't really tell you anything. So we don't really bother looking at the legs of wine when we assess one. The next part is the aroma, and the aroma is really the most important part of a wine. Like, wait, isn't that the flavor? It's actually not, because 70% of what we taste, we're actually smelling. So think back to the last time that you had a cold. Remember how food just tasted blah if you even tasted it again? That's because you couldn't smell the food because you were stuffed up. So it was that sense of aroma being gone. You lost a lot of the sense of flavor. So the most important part of a wine is really its aroma. So in order to assess the aroma, I like to give it a good swirl. So that's going to volatilize the wine by mixing it with a little bit of oxygen. So you see people walking around tastings doing this. But I don't recommend doing it up in the air if you're a beginner. Just set it down on the table, 2 fingers or 2 hands, and just give it a little shake back and forth, and it'll do the swirling all on its own for you. So now you have all this wonderful aroma. So take a sniff. My wine smells wonderful. So as we assess the aroma of a wine, we start off by looking for the fruits. And I like to put these into categories. Are there citrus fruits like lemons or tangerines? Are there stone fruits like peaches or apricots or nectarines? Are there core fruits like apples or pears? Or is it more tropical like banana or mango or papaya? And that tells us a little bit about the wine. I usually try and find 3 fruits in all of my wines. Sometimes that's kind of a challenge, especially if there's something really overwhelming. In my wine, I smell peaches. I smell lemons. Oh, lots of fresh lemon. I don't know, maybe a little touch of that mango tropical note in there as well. And then we're looking for things like fresh herbs or dried herbs, something that might be reminiscent of a wildflower or a floral flower that we might find at the flower market. So some things you might come up with would be like rose petal or jasmine, thyme, fresh oregano, dried herbs. Maybe there's spices. You could often find brown baking spices like clove or cinnamon. Maybe you'll find a little minerality, which I definitely find in this Riesling, and that's kind of that scent of kind of a flinty rock that gives you an idea of the vineyard, where it comes from. And then the other thing you might find would be some note of an oak barrel, if your wine is aged in oak barrels. This one I can tell by the aroma hasn't been, but maybe you have a Chardonnay or a Pinot Noir that has been, and you'll smell that little bit of toasted, woody kind of note that adds a lot of complexity to the wine. So now that we've smelled our wine, we get to do the fun part, and we get to taste it. So when we taste a wine, we just want to get a little bit in our mouth, and we want to make sure we're bringing in a lot of oxygen, a lot of air with that, maybe even slurping it around a little bit. It doesn't look very good, but it helps improve the flavor, because remember, 70% of what we're tasting, we're actually smelling. So I like to take a little slip and kind of swish it around. That makes sure I get it over my whole palate. All of my tongue, all of my taste buds get to be involved. So when I'm at a professional tasting or I'm driving around to wineries, I always split. We also do that in the Linfield classroom as we taste with students, because of course that's the best way to make sure that everybody stays safe and stays professional. I'm at home right now, so I don't have to. I'm sure you're getting to enjoy that benefit as well. So once we've tasted the wine, we just think about, again, going back to those fruits and those spices and herbs and toasted oak flavors that we might get on the palate. So I can confirm that I'm still getting that peach and that citrus in my wine. There's, goodness, I'm not getting that tropical as much, but the minerality is coming out a lot more. As I taste wines, I like to take notes. And this is a really important part because if you don't write down what it is you like, it's really hard to communicate that with the wine steward at your favorite retail shop, with a sommelier in a restaurant. And I can't tell you how many years in my wine business, somebody came in to a store while I was working and said, I had this wine, I really love it, I really can't wait to get a bottle in. I'd say, great, what was it? And they'd say, it was a white wine, and it had this kind of whitish label with sort of a drawing of like a house or a vine. Nobody can help you find that again. So I like to have a little notebook, like a little moleskin that I dedicate to my wine tasting notes. But there are great apps now. One of them that you might want to consider is one from the Wine and Spirits Educational Trust. So they have a great tasting note app where you can keep the notes right on your phone, and that way you have them with you everywhere you go. You can jot down the name of something when you're at a restaurant, or if you're on a girls' night out or guys' night out and you find a bottle you like, or if you're tasting or going to your local shop for a tasting. It's great to keep those notes. That way you can find the wine again if you liked it. You can also help communicate what it is you like and don't like to those helpful people in stores and in restaurants who want to help you try and find something that you love. So once we've tasted the wine, I like to think about, how does it finish? Does the flavor linger for a really long period of time? Or is it something kind of shorter? That's often an indicator of quality. It also transforms into something that makes the wine even more special. So those are my tips for you today for wine pairing. I hope you enjoy tasting with me. I look forward to seeing you on campus sometime again soon. Go Cats!
And that concludes this evening's event with the Evenstad Center for Wine Education. Thank you so much for joining us for this virtual stay at homecoming event. Now go grab your phone and get ready to text this number, 503-932-9756. We want to make sure that everyone watching right now has the opportunity to enter the raffle to win a seat in an upcoming WSET Level 1 Award in Wines course. We are offering courses in person, fingers crossed, hopefully next year. But for now, we have a schedule of online virtual classes available that you can register for. Again, that number for everybody watching is 503-932-9756. This is an exclusive offer that we are giving away. It's $300 value for all of our Linfield alumni watching right now. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Feel free to reach out at any time to wine@linfield.edu for more information. Don't forget to text that number, 503-932-9756. Good luck and cheers. Hope to see you in 2021.